Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Paranexus Universe. It is Thursday, September 25th, 2008. This is Doug Kelly, your host, here with my co-host and friend Grant Rubin. Does Hey, Grant.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Nice to have you with us tonight.
Yeah, actually, it's been a cool day here in Florida, believe it or not.
Really cool. It's supposed to be cool tonight. Yeah. I mean, we won't not act if the temperature drops below 90 degrees.
Well, a lot of things going on. I wanted to mention at the outset here, and I'll mention a couple of more times as we get through the show. Wanted to remind our audience, too, that last week we launched the Paranexus Registry of Anomalous Events, excuse me, and it's at paranexus.net, paranexus.net. If you're a paranormal researcher, you have events that you've gotten from research in the field, you can plug that in there, whether it's haunting, whether it's parapsychology, cryptozoology, and all of those. We'd love to hear about your cases, and we can get it into the database. That way we can cross-reference a lot of stuff. We can do search on different search options, find data, and have a good idea on what's going on. Maybe that'll help us with some ideas, some concepts, and some knowledge in the field. So take a look at paranexus.net. That's the registry. Of course, the main website is paranexus.org. And I wanted to remind everyone, too, that we got less than 3 days coming up until the conference, the Paranexus Conference in Tampa on October 25th. We've been able to lower the fees due to the economy, which I call a depression, but I'm not going to go into that. So take a look at that at paranexus.org. And then another big announcement, we just are right at the point of launching a new website called Paranexus Academy, and that's at paranexusacademy.org. Now, this is a cool thing because we're going to be offering all kinds of classes that are very affordable, start out at $14, online classes, and we're inviting those who may have a class they'd like to teach to apply as an instructor. If you got a course you want to offer, and instructors can make a few extra bucks on the side. And it's really a great opportunity to learn a wide variety of different techniques and concepts and subjects, really at an affordable rate. So that's at paranexusacademy.org. Brand new, just launched it, announced it today, and we're putting some finishing touches on it. So take a look at that. As far as tonight's guest, we have Jerry Avalos with us. Lucid dreaming and astral projection we're going to be talking about. Sounds like an interesting topic. I know I have some questions. I'll give you a little bit of background on Jerry. He grew up in the middle of Orange County, California, an earshot away from Disneyland. He was always an imaginative person and never seemed to turn that conscious creativity off, even while sleeping. Because of this, he had always had some level of control over his dreams. Growing up, Jerry realized his dreams to creatively solve problems, cram for tests, even predict the outcome of the next day while at school. While having a fun dream of playing a live-action version of one of his favorite video games at the time at age 10, he discovered what he had referred to as the infinite light within us all. that also seemed to open up a new level of astral control to him. Through dreams and understanding them, Jerry has learned how to overcome some serious conditions, including severe depression and a struggle with weight. In recent years, he has had visions past the enigmatic 2012 date, which is actually good to hear. Nothing but, okay, I've got a lot of people Skyping me. I can't do anything about the breaking up. We'll just let that go. And I've got to read this and we'll get on to it. This is interesting. Using dreams, he's learned to overcome fears of all kinds by experiencing intense true-to-life lucid episodes where he's been shot, stabbed, set on fire, frozen, fell from heights, airplane crashes, car crashes, poisoned, died, squashed, choked, hung, etc. That's quite a laundry list. Also, through his astral travels, Jerry has also come in contact with types of entities such as ghosts, spirits, shadow people, demons, deities, even extraterrestrial and pan-dimensional beings. Now he uses his knowledge and techniques he's developed and learned to help others with self-discovery and empowerment. Jerry, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. So tell us more about how you got started with this whole thing. You kind of fill in some of those blanks.
Okay. Yeah, because in a sense, I'm actually going back and trying to fill in those blanks myself because like I said, like in the bio, I had always had a certain level of control of my dreams, so I never even thought to look into what is lucid dreaming. It just wasn't picked me. I had heard people talk about dreams, and I'm like, yeah, I have dreams too, and it kind of ended there. But I would notice, like, it would be the place where basically I would just have fun as a kid. I would do whatever I wanted to, go wherever I wanted to, and it was just normal life to me. And you know, and what's interesting is like how when I mentioned the light incident, that happened in 1988, actually, and I found it's kind of, I hear a lot of other stories that seem to have a lot of incremental awakening, shall I say, to a lot of this, because for that experience with me, it really kind of, even at that young age, it kind of proved to me it's kind of like there's something else out there that we don't know about. Just from that experience itself, because I knew I was already experiencing conscious dreaming for, you know, as long as I can remember, so it wasn't a matter of like me knowing if I was asleep or not. So I knew I was asleep. I knew I couldn't die. I knew I can do all this stuff. But like I can get into this, I'll work into this that experience a little later. But what I found though was essentially, it was, yeah, it's kind of the concepts that we hear people like Greg Braden talk about, and David Wilcock with that whole 0-point energy that is centered within us all, and it's the same concept. So basically, how I got to this point though was I had this constructive use of my dreams. Like, it was just kind of a tool that I used, like anyone else would use, just like their time to think for themselves. That's kind of how I thought about it, and what happened was I started getting these dreams where like I couldn't even interpret them, and I was, you know, I came from the school of kind of thought of, you know, Carl Jung and even Freud to an extent, and you know, some vague, you know, I guess wives' tales, I guess, or old tales that you hear of things like that before at this point. But so I take those into consideration, old, you know, urban myths and such. But I was good at figuring out what was going on, at least I thought I was, until I started seeing things like ETs and, you know, that weren't from my imagination, or that, like, because a lot of times at that point, like, entities kind of have this tendency to feel the same, you know, on that side. So I couldn't tell the difference between something living or dead or whatever, then, because I thought it was just all in my mind. I thought I was just imagining it all. And I started following these things because essentially, like, I knew that, like, the precognitive sense that we have, it's nothing supernatural. We all do it all the time. It's just that some of us develop it more as just for our own reasons. You did it through your dreams. And so you have this infinite processing power, you know, in your consciousness and subconsciousness and higher self even. You have all of them aligned. You can just go anywhere, do everything, calculate anything. And so that's what I used it for. And here it was, it broke. I'm like, wait a minute, that can't happen. So I'm just missing something here. I'm really missing something.